Hey everyone, the new film F1 starring Brad Pitt is here, and it's all about a race car driver who simply loves to drive. That's kind of the film. That's the story in a nutshell. But does it work? Will it hit home for all viewers? Will a star like Brad Pitt? Yeah, definitely easy one to watch. But is it a film that's gonna resonate with you or with wider audiences? That's the question that I really want to get into so that you know if this film is going to be good for you. So, all right, let's talk F1. The film really kicks off with some old school race footage that feels kind of scratchy and blurry and very much in the moment. And then it kind of shifts into this calming imagery of waves. It's very restful and peaceful. And then Sonny Hayes, played by Brad Pitt, wakes up from a nap and he jumps into his car for his leg of the race that he's in. And it's the midnight leg where he kind of pulls ahead of the team and puts them in first place. That pretty much sets the tone for who Sonny Hayes is as a man. I am being cat bombed. Come on, Kensington. You want to say hi to Kensington? Oh, good kitty. Good kitty. Come on. We're talking movies, kitty. All right. Where was I again? All right. So that pretty much sets the tone for who Sonny Hayes is as a man, who he is as a race car driver. He wins and then he leaves. He just doesn't stick around. He doesn't kind of play into that whole media circus vibe that so many other drivers do. He just wants to drive. Then we've got Ruben, his old friend from F1 days, who tracks him down and he tries to convince Sonny to come race for his team. Sonny and Ruben, they go way back. They used to race together, and now Ruben is a team owner. He's got his own team, and his team is actually losing. They're not doing well. He just lost his primary driver. They haven't won any races this season, and he's in fear of losing his team at this point. I mean, you can guess from the name of the film, F1. Sonny agrees to help him. He goes and decides to join Ruben's F1 team and follows him off to London. Everything you expect from this film, you get. This is a really good story wrapped around a very basic formulaic structure that works because it really takes its chances on how the characters are developed and the choices that the characters make. And it kind of pays those choices off throughout the film. It really pays attention to the story beats and delivers on each of them. In some ways, F1 really feels like it pulls inspiration for Sonny Hayes's character from the legendary driver Michael Schumacher, who was an intensely private guy. And he was very strategic on the racetrack. And it feels like they pulled inspiration for Joshua Pierce's character, he's the rookie, from current living legend Lewis Hamilton, who is a much more public facing driver. He's very outspoken, very style forward, right in line with Joshua Pierce. And this makes it feel like F1 is giving us this really cool look at what it would have been like for these two drivers to actually be on the same team at the same time, just at different paths in their career. And that makes for such an exciting and interesting spin on the story. It's why I really feel like this film could have fallen into kind of a basic formulaic structure that was like more meh than anything else. But because of how they built these two characters, it elevated it and it gave us some things to kind of fight against and to push against in a way that felt very natural with lots of great story payoff. If you grew up like me watching Formula One or NASCAR or drag racing, or if you're a fan of legends like Dale Earnhardt, Ayrton Senna, or even Shirley Muldowney, I think you will enjoy the character development for Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce in this film. Plus, it has some of the humor, like some of the goofy humor from Talladega Nights from time to time, and it's kind of mashed up with the adrenaline of Top Gun, while also nodding to some of the classic racing films like Le Mans starring Steve McQueen, or Days of Thunder starring Tom Cruise, or the French film Michel Vaillant directed by Louis Pascal Cavoulier. And I hope I said that right. Louis Pascal Cavoulier. Somebody correct me if I have pronounced that wrong. I know I don't have the best French pronunciation, for which I'm very sorry. He's a great director. So, in F1, we get Brad Pitt as Sonny Hayes. He's the old guy on the team who mentors the rookie driver. Kind of formulaic, but it works. He's a Formula One golden boy, which is why he fits so well into this role. But he's never won his F1 crown. He's non-committal and hard to pin down until his old friend Ruben convinces him to take this chance and return to F1 racing. While Brad Pitt might be the headliner here, this really isn't his best performance, which is fine. He's good in the film. He's just fine. He's done better. But what makes him special in this role is that you can tell he is having fun. He loves what he's doing. That's what makes his character so relatable for us because his energy transfers off the screen and into the audience. Joshua Pierce, played by Damon Idris, is the uber talented rookie who hasn't yet mastered the strategy of racing or fully realized his own skills when on the track. Driving with Sonny kind of helps supercharge his learning, and he gets some of those hard-won lessons and he starts to internalize them. And you really can see the promise of his career starting to emerge by the end of this film as his career takes off. It's not the most dynamic role for a character, but that's not the point. This isn't a solo character film. It's about Sonny plus Joshua plus the team. It's a whole package. And in that way, because it's an ensemble when you really get down to it, because it's an ensemble, the team becomes a character, and that's what's important here. Javier Bardem as Ruben is great. He's fun, he's engaging, it's fully believable as the former driver turned owner who's invested literally everything in his team. His interactions with Sonny really are some of the best moments in the film. You get that he loves his job and he loves his team. And you also get that little bit of authentic smarm that is really needed to schmooze with those big money owners off the track. Then there's Kerry Condon as Kate. She plays the technical director, and she is hands down my favorite character. She's snappy, she's sharp, she's absolutely killing it in every scene with her Irish humor. I just love her. And she's this former NASA aeronautics engineer who brings vision and practicality to the team. She's the spark that kind of helps tie the entire team together, especially after Sonny arrives. And she also makes Sonny a much more sympathetic character by helping us to understand what drives him. She pushes him. She gets information out of him that he doesn't usually give to people. And all of that leads to a great and authentic performance on her part. She does a great job. One of the true highlights of the film is the music. And you know I love music. It's been a long time since I've heard a soundtrack that really hit me while watching the film. The movie opens with Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love. Okay, when you hear that song opening the film, you're like, I am in. You're like, boom. The music, the drums, the bass, the guitar. That's how you start a racing movie. Kudos to the sound designer. Really sets a tone immediately. You also get Queen's We Will Rock You, as well as some other really great classics. Plus, they incorporate orchestral pieces by legendary composer Hans Zimmer, who I just adore. I love Hans Zimmer, along with a bunch of newer tracks from artists like Ed Sheeran, who seems to be in all of the films lately. Anyway, from Ed Sheeran to Rosé to Don Toliver. I mean, they really do pull it all together. And it's that mix of old and new songs that just blends so perfectly in the film's themes and energy and brings all that out. I really, really like the soundtrack. So I went and I bought it. But, gotta say, I was just a little bit disappointed with the actual soundtrack that's for sale because it didn't include the iconic tracks that made the theater experience so exciting. Those classic rock tracks just weren't there. I've got it on my phone now, and I just created a little playlist and I manually added in some of those missing classic rock songs into that mix because the combination of the old and new, that's what makes the soundtrack so good. So that's what I did because I am a music geek. And yeah, so that's just my take on the soundtrack. Sorry, I got a little too deep on the soundtrack. Sorry about that. So there are lots of things that really work in F1, but I think the best thing is how the film really captures the energy and the thrills of racing. I also really enjoyed getting the strategic thinking behind every move on the track and the choices that they made related to things like rain, tire types, placement on the field, the racing rules for the moment, and the body design, even the body design of the cars. There is also this one scene. There are a few scenes like this, but there was one that really just stood out that conveyed just the intellectual and physical combination of what it takes to win these races. And we get these two teammates who are working together on the track, just like just like falcons taking down an eagle, where they're swooping in and they're just working together. It's a great depiction of real-time strategic thinking that is required in racing. The film also succeeds in blending real engineering principles into the story. And I love that they talk about the aerodynamic design of Sunny's car in a way that just doesn't feel like an exposition dump. But they do take some artistic license, granted, with the science. So, while not fully accurate, the film takes real principles and gives them this fictional twist that just works for the story. And you know what? Frankly, it's a movie. There are going to be things like this that they got to play with in order to make the story work. So there were also some things that just didn't work. The movie runs really long. It's like 2 hours and 35 minutes, while it could have easily lost 30 minutes without sacrificing its impact. I think they put that extra time to good use, giving us more time on the track to make it feel like a racing film and not just a story about the drivers. Also, there are a few lines of dialogue that frankly, they're just kind of corny and goofy, and some moments that just lean way too hard into the melodrama of the story. So while the formulaic structure of the film works, some of the emotional payoffs feel a little too expected. Sure, that is an easy way to create satisfying plot points, but they could have failed badly if they hadn't leaned into giving us a little more time on the racetrack, which is likely why this film got the longer runtime. They took a chance and it ended up working for me, but it's not going to work for everyone. These super long films just kill you when you're in the theater if you're not really, really into it. What really struck me about F1 is how positive it is as a movie. It's fun, yeah, but we get a cast of decent characters. And I mean, like, decent, like they're decent people, decent characters who all have realistic challenges and kind of quirky personalities They all want the same thing. They all want to win. They all want to win in the right way, even if they have different ideas about how to get there. And this film does a great job of showing how all of those people find a way to work together. It touches on things like friendship and self-discovery, family, and second chances. The key characters face some really hard moments, but they all pretty much do the right thing when it matters most, even when that is the harder choice to make. That is also how you build complex and compelling characters who feel like they resonate with ordinary people like you and me. So, is F1 worth the price of the ticket? Well, if you're not into racing or formulaic, feel good sports films, this probably won't convert you into a fan. Personally, I kind of loved it. I had a great time watching it. And if you enjoy sports films, character-driven stories, or movies that kind of tap into the high energy, high stakes world of racing, I think you're going to enjoy it too, especially if you see it in IMAX or in Dolby Cinema. That's my take on F1. Have you seen it? Are you planning to see it? Do you even like racing, race cars, or race films? If so, definitely let me know what you think. And while you're here, why not give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this review with a friend who might be thinking about seeing this movie. Thank you so much for being here, everybody, and for watching and for being a part of my team. I've been a little backed up on reviews lately due to a death in my family, a really close person. But I am back to making videos and watching movies and trying to do normal things and talking with you guys about the stuff that we love chatting about. Thank you again, and I will see you all again soon. But for now, bye.